Okay, so today's question is, I've tried everything and feel hopeless. How do I regain hope? I'm Sarah Clark, the founder of Fab Fertile and your host. I'm a fertility expert and support couples to get pregnant naturally or improve their chances at the fertility clinic with their own eggs. I'll be answering your questions so that you don't waste time and you can fast track your chances of pregnancy success. Okay, so today's question is, I've tried everything and feel hopeless. How do I regain hope? Well, first of all, acknowledging that you're being on this journey is tough, right? You've probably already thought you had your solution. You thought when you started trying to get pregnant that you'd be pregnant right away. You thought perhaps when you chose an IUI or an IVF that it would work. Each stage you were hopeful, and then that roller coaster of like up and down, up and down. This goes on for years, and it can be really devastating for you, right? So you're in the middle of the struggle, and you can't. There's a beginning, middle, and end of a struggle, and maybe you're stuck right now in the messy middle, and you can't quite see the end. There's a lot of uncertainty and ambiguity. Where will it work? The underlying thought on this is fear that this will not work. And so then hope can be dashed in that side of things. So to acknowledge that this is hard, that, as we say before, infertility will impact all aspects of your life. And it is to acknowledge that. And so if you're feeling in a hopeless spot, to just give yourself some grace on this. And maybe it is time to step back a little bit. How do you regroup? Maybe what you're trying right now is just not serving you anymore. Maybe it's, there's a lot of compassion fatigue too that comes along with this. So where you've stopped, giving yourself compassion. So to regain hope, as part of our Fab Fertile method, we include a mind, body, spirit approach, because we can do all the testing and, develop that action plan, address autoimmune issues, address biochemistry issues such as blood sugar imbalance, thyroid imbalance, food sensitivities, gut infections. We can address all of that. But if you don't believe it's going to work, that is also something for us to work on. Is there, unresolved trauma? And there could be trauma from the fertility journey in itself, going through perhaps loss, going through all these failed cycles, the emotional heartache of this up and down, of getting your hopes up and then having them crashed over and over again. So identifying that trauma and be able to moving it out of the body, and then actually being able to speak to someone about it. Because many times we can feel like like myself, I was the only person in my friend group who had, was dealing with POI, premature ovarian insufficiency. Everyone else was having all kinds of babies. I was like, I remember when I was, going through donor eggs, and my friend came in and she's like, I'm pregnant with my third. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what is going on here? Like, it was just like everyone around me at that age. And this was, I had my first at 31. So, and now she's 20. I can't believe it. But, so it is that piece where, there's trauma on the fertility journey. And so recognizing that, and if you're feeling in a low spot, it is to not to say you're going to, stay there forever, but it is to acknowledge it, get support. Is it situational depression? If you're like feeling very low, is it that going on? Do you need to have support that way from a therapist? Or we also use EFT, so emotional freedom techniques, so tapping to help move trauma out of the body. And also we include in our Fab Fertile method, a session, like a Reiki session. And so it's a spiritual session to really dig into the, those spiritual nudges that we all get. Our intuition, where we know in the heart of hearts that, we already are a mother. We can feel it. Like, where's that feeling in your heart that you just know? And for you, if it's your faith, if the energy side doesn't work for you, if it's your faith, you just have this strong knowing it'll work when you get really quiet. Because a lot of times we're stuck there researching and looking at all these different things and get us off track. Come back to your intuition. What does your gut say? Like, what do you say? And we want to go and ask all kinds of different people's opinions on things. We already know our body best. We already know what potentially could be off, where we're perhaps going down the wrong path on things. So to get quiet about that and to sink into that knowing can really be helpful on this. Otherwise, we could self-sabotage ourselves, stuck in self-doubt. And again, the underlying issue with this is fear that it won't work. So hopefully that was helpful for you to know that, you know, some of these things, it's if you haven't been through it, it can be isolating, it can be confusing, and it can be heartbreaking, right? So to be in a community of people that get it, you can also join the Fab Fertile support group on Facebook. So we can pop in there, and there's a group full of people that are on the same journey, not in the exact same spot as you, but can really start showing you as you shine. If you're able to show compassion to others, then you can actually start shining it back to you, because some of the things we say to ourselves, we would never say to a friend, let alone even a stranger. So what are you saying to yourself on a regular basis? And start thinking of yourself as your best friend, and give yourself some love. So take care. Thanks so much for being here. If you've got a question that you want answered, simply go to Fab Fertile Inc. on Instagram, send me a DM, and we will answer your question on an upcoming show. That's Fab Fertile Inc. and send me a DM. And please refer to our disclaimer below. Take care.